This setup can be tricky because it feels like maybe the connotation is not switching, right? Many people associate climate change with rising temperatures and extended periods of drought. That seems bad. That seems negative. It is also responsible for severe storms with greater volumes of precipitation that cause damaging floods. That's also negative. So our instinct might be, oh, we're not actually transitioning at all. We need to continue a thought. But we have to pay attention to the specifics of what they're saying. They're saying there's lots of drought, right? That's a lack of water. And then in the next sentence, they're switching and saying there's a greater volume of precipitation and a damaging floods, right? So we go from a very small amount of water to a very big amount of water. So there is a contrast here, and that's why choice C is correct. We need that contrast word. It's sneaky, but it's still provable, right? We can point to specific parts of each sentence and say, there is my contrast. Now, just to be clear about what the other words mean, accordingly is kind of like the word so. And so the floods are not caused by the droughts. That would be kind of what that would mean. They're both caused by climate change. So this is not like the second sentence is an effect of the first. And B is just the word and. That's probably what we might be kind of drawn to if we did think that a contrast wasn't necessary. We were just continuing a thought. Furthermore, is not really a transition at all. It's just a way of continuing a thought, but there's definitely a contrast here if we can find it. And then D, likewise, kind of also means and, but it has a little extra spin. It's much more if we're using like an analogy or some sort of comparison. It's almost never right. To be honest, on the SAT, I've seen it as an answer choice many, many, many times. I don't think I've ever seen it be the right answer, maybe once or twice, but it's just a weird word that doesn't have a lot of actual like practical uses. It just sounds really fancy, and that's why people pick it. So doesn't mean cross it out, but it does mean be cautious and have a reason to pick it if it is what you're going to go with. But in this case, we had a reason to pick. However, it's a very common transition word. It's not that fancy, and it works here perfectly if we can prove it.